Welcome to BNOW for 2222, where we discuss what is happening in and around Brampton. So today we were supposed to have Councillor Martin Medeiros and Pat Fortini talking about their motion. They signed, two of the six councillors signed the motion in regards to the blowtorch of democracy happening at City Hall. But unfortunately, they're not going to be able to make it tonight. Apparently, there's a special meeting tonight at 7 p.m. We were going to get them on and let them go at 6:55, but apparently the city clerk asked them to be logged on 15 minutes prior, and there was a closed meeting session before that. So I have it from Pat Fortini that next Tuesday he will be on. So if he's not on next Tuesday with Martin Medeiros, that would be the last time they ever show up. So we'll see. We'll give them a period of grace. Unfortunately, they wouldn't be able to make it for today. So the promo out there. All those looking forward to it, you're going to have to just wait till March 1st, which is next Tuesday. The special meeting tonight is to discuss the 2/3 majority voting requirement that the councillors brought forward, and that is for additions to agenda, suspension of rules, and closed section to clarify city staff, especially when it pertains to the CAO. So these are what the councillors wanted to discuss. They wanted to go to a 50% plus one vote rather than a 2/3 vote. And we'll see how that turns out. By that time tonight, the special meeting goes at 7 o'clock. Michael Charbon at 8 o'clock tonight is going to be talking to the Mayor Patrick Brown. So I think at that point in time, we should be able to clarify what the vote was. And if going forward, is going to be a 2/3 vote still, or is it going to be a 50% plus one? And there's a lot of ramifications in that regard for a lot of the situations going forward. So we'll see what the mayor has to say about that at 8 o'clock tonight. But first, we're going to get rid of a few little things along the way here. The first thing we're going to cover is the flooding from the Credit River, and Fazelle joins me now. Fazelle, how you doing?
Hi, Don. I thought you almost forgot about me again.
No, I didn't forget about you.
I'm your fill-in. Today was supposed to be my day.
Today is fill-in. It was supposed to be a day off for you, right? It was supposed to be a situation that you know what?
Did you have to take that, Don?
I did actually, but we're gonna have to. I'll have to see after we finish at 7 o'clock. So basically, flooding Credit River. About 100 homes were affected.
Yeah, I got some pictures.
You have some footage, yep.
Yeah. This is from Brampton Emergency Management Office from last week. That water is normally about 5 feet lower than what we're seeing there. There's an aerial view of it. I guess you see the area on the left there, the water shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the big part of it was when the ice flow sort of backed up at the bridge. The ice couldn't go anywhere, so that backed up the water, and it sort of flooded the entire area there.
Yeah, and this whole area here normally doesn't have water, but it's completely flooded.
Yeah,
and you can see the houses along the Credit River there in Churchville, the backyards, and it actually goes onto the street, in the front of the street. So it's quite a disaster, actually.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. My first question was, I mean, is that located, are those homes located on a floodplain?
I don't know, but if I were to buy a house, I would not be buying a house down there. I actually live in the area, but I live up the road. It's, I don't know, probably a good 30 feet or 40 feet above from this area. So, there would have to be a huge amount of water to get to my house. So yeah. I don't know how insurance works down there. I don't know who pays for that cost. It's a tough situation, but I guess we'll find out more with the mayor tonight and Michael Charbon.
Yeah, Karen is asking when was the last time it was flooded. I don't recall. I've been living in Brampton for close to 30 years. I don't recall that has ever been a situation in Brampton.
Yeah, and I've lived here for 17 years. Like I walk on that bridge almost daily when I used to walk before I hurt myself. Yeah, 17 years, never like that. Like the river's been frozen. And people skidoo underneath that bridge, right? You can easily pass, no problem. So you can see how high it is. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite a bit. But, that happens. If you've got a bridge that low and the ice can't actually break up, it'll jam up. Like like I lived in Montreal on the St. Lawrence River, what they have is on the bridges on the Jacques Cartier, they have big concrete barriers and they're pointed at the front. So when the ice hits it, it sort of breaks up. If you don't have that, it keeps jamming up, and you can see a piece of a a tree log there and everything else, and that just holds everything up, and the water has got to go somewhere, and it just floods. So
I'm actually surprised they're letting people kind of near that bridge, because it just looks like the foundations of it could be damaged. So like I was there yesterday, some of the drone shots you saw there, and people were right on top of it, like they were walking on it. There's one police officer. Actually, I saw his car. I didn't actually see the police officer, so I was quite surprised people were allowed to walk on it.
well, you know what? People don't realize that the destructiveness of ice, it can be very destructive. Like I said, I lived in Montreal, most of my young adult life, and there's a situation where that ice starts to come up, and even anyone in cottage country, if they have a cottage up there on a lake, there's a lot, that ice just goes up about 10 or 15 feet up the dock, and it can take out a dock, and it's pretty destructive. So
yeah, I don't think I have any pictures, but there's some like heavy equipment there moving the ice away, and
yeah,
there's some chunks there that are a good 2 feet thick. So it's incredible, actually.
yeah. I
And
mean,
the
I'm
Credit River's
surprised.
not that, it's not a massive river.
No, but I'm still surprised. I mean, big chunks of ice, they can do a lot of damage. I'm surprised structurally, like you said, that bridge is still the way it is, because
Yeah.
they can actually bend steel. So we'll get an update from the mayor
So
on what's going
Karen
on.
wants to know how I hurt myself.
Well,
And
number one, Faz is like, he's
so I've
very.
been, just so everybody know, I've been walking almost, I don't know, between 5 and 10 kilometers a day for the last year and a bit. And about 4 weeks ago, I don't know what I did, but I've got this, I've got this pain. Anyways, I got an MRI within a couple of days, and it's something to do with my L5S1 something on my back.
Vertebrae.
So I got to go get some back brace and chiropractor. And anyways, that's enough about me.
Yeah. That's your lower back. Forget about from the neck up. There's a problem there too.
That is perfectly fine, Don.
Yeah, okay. All right, so Credit River. Yeah, let's go to Doug Ford today. Apparently, I guess a provincial election campaign is kicking off. Our government is cutting costs for families to make life affordable, and what are they doing? They're taking the license renewal out of the situation. So we had talked to Pragmeet about 2 weeks ago when this
plate
was
sticker,
leaked.
you mean? What is it? There's a sticker on your plate, right?
It's a sticker. It's a license plate renewal sticker. So they are canceling that, and that's about $120 a year right now, $10 a month, and they're just phasing it out. When we talked to Pragmeet, I mean, that's $1 billion in money that comes into the Ontario coffers. How are they going to replace $1 billion? I mean, that's a lot of money.
And I don't know why they're doing that. To me, it's like, I think we're all accustomed to paying that fee every year or every 2 years. And now that it's retroactive to like 2020. So you're probably, I don't get it, right? At a time when we need revenue into the government, they're refunding money that you've already paid. So
yeah, I mean, I just bought my sticker, renewed it for 2 years. So I guess I'm getting that money back. But, I don't mind paying the sticker fee, because to me, it's like it's got to go for something. If it goes for something good, I have no problem. Karen is here. It could go to education. Yes, it could go to healthcare as well, as long as it gets to the right. The nurses are looking for a more than 1% increase on Bill 13, I think it was, and it's like, okay, well, that could supply a lot of nurses, especially coming out of COVID. Which I think
so Don, did they give an explanation as to why they're getting rid of that fee?
No, to get money into, what did Doug Ford say? Bring that up again.
Here we go.
To make life more affordable.
I think you can pay that extra fee in gas in a few weeks, right?
Basically, yes. Yeah. Maybe what they're doing is they're taking the license renewal plate away for commercial vehicle. I think it's small, like vehicles. It's not the big ones. And then maybe they're going to make sure that if you have a bike, you have to get a license for the bike. How about that?
How much would that be? $10?
Well, for bikers, because they use the highways, it would be much more than a car license.
And then they got to get insurance too, right? You can't get
absolutely
the sticker until you get
100%.
insurance.
So I think that's Doug's rationale behind that, right?
Yeah. And yeah, Karen, I'm not sure this is an election promise. I think is it an election
No, and
promise?
it's election is coming up. I think it's May this is it? No, I think it's before May the 2nd that they drop it, because the elections are in June, right? The provincial elections are in June.
Well, I don't know if that takes effect right away, or if we have to wait till after the election. Okay, what's next? We got a lot of things on the docket here.
What do we got? Oh, the coldest. What is it? No,
No, we got
Hazel,
Hazel.
with nonprofits. You were going to show me something.
So yeah, I'm going to show you. So as you know, Don, we work with a lot of nonprofits, and we've always had this attitude that they don't do enough to promote themselves, and that's why we exist, right? We work with mostly nonprofits to share their stories in video format, and we do a lot of free work. And so I sit on the board of an organization, and I got a chance to get the camera in front of Hazel. And she was just supposed to do a promo for the organization. I'm not going to say which organization. But then it got into, I felt like I was back in grade school, and she was lecturing us blaming us for all the wrongs that nonprofits have done in terms of communication. So let's hear what she had to say.
So I think it's up to these organizations such as yours to do a better job of communicating to the people. Getting messages out constantly to the public through radio, through TV, and through the press. I think a lot of organizations fail because they don't do a good job of communication. They just don't. I mean, I bet you if you walked out on the street and asked people, they'd look at you and say, "What in the world is that?"
Yeah, exactly.
You know, organizations get too involved internally, and they don't realize that communication is the world's biggest problem, and it's the biggest problem of volunteer organizations and people that are wanting to do good. They neglect communication. You don't do a good job. You don't publicize what's going on. You listen to the radio. Every bad organization gets publicity, but good organizations don't get it, not because the TV and the press refuses to publish it, it's because they don't make the effort to let the press know that they exist and what's going on.
Violence against
Do you
women.
ever think of issuing a press release? Have you ever thought of getting in touch with CP24 or CBC to talk to about the work, or inviting them to your place to see what goes on? You got to make an effort.
Those are
And volunteer organizations don't make an effort. They just don't. They just sit there. Say, we need money. Yeah. Well, you're not going to get money to support your group unless you let people know you exist and what work goes on. Communication is the world's biggest problem. And it's the biggest problem of volunteer organizations.
Yeah.
Or
to get
So what do you think about that, Don?
I'm just texting her now saying she's totally wrong. No,
She is 100% right. Everything
no,
she
she's
said.
100% right. And we've been saying this since 2014 when he started doing this. And it's like, it always amazes me, because all these organizations, and we've reached out to some, and some have reached out to us, and we've gone back and forth, and everyone is siloed. Every one of these organizations is siloed in their own little bubble, including big organizations as well as small organizations. And they don't have to be nonprofit. Some of these organizations are nonprofit and for-profit as well. I mean, we know organizations, in Brampton that got money for certain things through the grant proposal of the city of Brampton. And then they come to us as a nonprofit. They're a for-profit or doing something. And they come to us as a nonprofit and say, hey, would you like to promote our organization? And we're like, okay, well, you're getting money. So here's the situation, because we're a nonprofit and we keep surviving by doing stuff and charging for it to be able to buy equipment and everything else. So what's your media budget? Oh, well, we've already spent it. Okay, well, if you spent your media budget, why are you coming to us for free media? So it's like there's organizations out there that we've done a lot for over the time period. And they don't know how to share the work. That's the other problem. And I know social media for these groups is, I don't know, they just throw stuff out and they expect it to organically go across.
Well, and Hazel, Karen even mentioned it. Hazel was mentioning the radio. The radio is actually still, when people are commuting, those times it's still relevant media. But social media is you can't reach everybody through social media. The older you are, the less chance you're going to be reached there. TV is still probably 50%.
Well, it's cost. Like if you're a nonprofit organization in Brampton, number one, we don't have a TV station. Number one, we don't have. Number two, we don't have a radio station. Number three, the newspapers basically that we have is located in Mississauga, and you know what we think of that, right? It doesn't go across the city. It gets a hell of a lot of money from the city of Brampton for doing what, I don't know, but $700,000 a year for that is unbelievable to me. And what do they do to promote it? So social media, yes, we know the value of it. There's certain politicians that know the value of it, and that's where it has to go. You get the biggest bang for the buck, but there's certain things that you have to do when you run a campaign on social media. And
it's not hard, Don, right?
It's not hard, but the thing is, most of these organizations, they'll post a video, they'll do a video with a cell phone, post a video, or they'll spend a lot of money on the video, and then they don't do anything with it. There's no boosting, there's no cross, between different organizations, and they expect it to grow organically. It doesn't work that way. And that's what we find with a lot of nonprofit and even for-profit organizations. They just don't understand the medium, and they still don't today.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the things we have on our list to do, and we've had this for a couple of years, we'll probably do it this year, is a training program for nonprofit organizations. Not something that's going to cost a lot of money, but it'll give you the basics. And it's with your cell phone. We keep talking about the cell phone. This is the most powerful tool you have. It does everything you need, and most people aren't using it properly. So
well, it's not only the cell phone. And I know, Faz. It's how to get the message out, and that's what we're good at. I mean, we've helped organizations get their message out and tailor their message. And, we look at something and we say, no, this either looks good or this looks better. And here's an example, right, of what you can do right and what you can do wrong. I mean, we've done that for organizations, and, we don't put our stamp on it, but we do it because that's how we generate income for our nonprofit.
Speaking about nonprofits, let's talk about Coolest Night of the Year. George McKay was on saying, yes, let's don't forget about that. I actually had it on the list.
Yeah.
So Coolest Night of the Year is a national fundraiser that chooses organizations to work with across, in the various municipalities in Canada. And in Brampton, the organization that is working to help with the fundraiser is Regeneration Outreach. So they've been doing this a number of years. We actually covered them a few years ago, Don.
Yeah, I know we did.
And so they are a bit shy of their goal. So I definitely encourage everybody it's probably maybe not a good idea to start your own team, but I'm going to scroll down. There are a number of teams. There's a scorecard. Number one team here is Brampton Cares, run by Alex Samad. If you are on social media, you've probably seen a lot of the work he's doing. His goal is 10,000. On the weekend, he had a concert. He was like at about 8,200. So he's almost there. He's got the week to do it. So definitely try to get him to reach his goal. And there's a number of groups there. So either you can join one of these teams and just donate some money, walk and help find other donors. And Regen provides a lot of services for homeless people in our community. So definitely it's a charity that is out there. It's doing great work, and it's a good place to post your money.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain organizations that do good stuff. I mean, Regeneration has been around in the community for quite a while. They work out of Grace Church in the downtown core. So, like you said, go to the website, see what you can do. It's Saturday. When is it?
Saturday the 26th. I don't know the details, but just Google Coolest Night of the Year Brampton, and you'll get this page, and all the information you.
Well, put it this way: it won't be the coldest night of the year, and they're lucky it's not the coldest night of the year. You
And
know?
I actually don't think you have to walk at the same time. That used to be the way it worked, but we're all going virtual now, so you can walk basically whenever you. I don't know. Each team maybe have their own rules, but check out the website.
Yeah, and they used to do it.
Just
They
donate
used to
$20.
Yeah, they used to do it where I think they held it in downtown Brampton where they were sleeping in the car. I think that was before COVID, but you know.
Yeah.
All right. Coldest night of the year. Good regeneration. That's good. What else we got? Oh, next Tuesday, March the 1st, no vaccine mandates in Ontario.
That is not on our agenda, Don. I thought the pandemic
No,
was
I
over.
did. No, I did. I told you
Pandemic was
that.
over. No vaccine mandates.
Yeah.
As you can see, I am. What about masks? I'm not wearing a mask.
No, masks still apparently inside in certain areas and certain things, but I think sooner than later, apparently, I guess Doug Ford is going to be lifting more restrictions. So we'll see what happens in that regard. We can talk to or probably get a little bit more information on from Patrick Brown. He was very adamant saying we have to get things opened up and we have to start loosening restrictions. I think a lot of people feel that way. They felt it before the truckers' convoy. So I think that Michael Charbon is going to be covering that. And one of those topics is going to be on the agenda for the mayor tonight.
All right, so 8 o'clock right here on BNOW, we'll see the mayor. And so Don, what we were doing in the past was skipping our program every Tuesday when the
Right.
mayor was on. So the reason we did that is because we were on early when we started this whole thing at the same time. Now we're not on at the same time. So what are we doing? Are we going to do it every week?
Well, next Tuesday, you know, hopefully Martin Medeiros and Pat Fortini come on to explain the situation, why they decided to attempt a coup at City Hall. That we can talk about. But going forward, don't forget, we have the provincial election coming up as well as the municipal election. So I think we'll probably be ramping up. I've talked to another person that we know well in Brampton that could possibly be a sidekick to me to talk about the provincial election and the ridings. I see some candidates out there already starting to put forward their videos and you know who they are and what they are and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll be able to delve a little bit more into that. So going forward, I think probably every Tuesday at 6:30, we'll be doing it, and we'll be talking about provincial issues as well as upcoming municipal issues as well. So I think we're going to be doing it full time.
Okay. All right, Don, is that it?
That is it for tonight. If you want to, like I said, tonight at 8 o'clock, Michael Charbon will be talking to Mayor Patrick Brown about a whole bunch of different topics. And tune in then. You can talk to or leave your comments for the mayor at 8 o'clock with Michael Charbon. So we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, Don.